back, everybody, to Overwatch. We've got the NECC National Challengers Group Stage, and this is the decider. We've got two teams today, uOttawa Gray and Sac State Gold, and both teams are fighting for that last spot at the Nationals Group Challenger stage. I have with me Connor, who is back from his little vacation, and I think
Uh,
Connor, you might be the good luck charm because they haven't lost until you left. So
yeah,
let's hope that you coming back means that they take it home.
I hope so because Zora is now back actually playing Overwatch instead of here in the casting booth.
Yeah, that was yeah, I don't know if you watched there,
I,
Connor, but
I did actually.
yeah, that was a tenuous start. Hopefully,
Yeah.
now that we've got all five people here, and not three and a half, I think Sac State is gonna be looking a lot better. Do you know anything about you, Ottawa Gray?
Unfortunately, I do not. This week has been very busy with finals and all stuff like that, so I haven't had time to do as much research as I would. But what we could expect is again probably more Junker Queen, like we saw last week, with again a lot more Junker Queen. Sac State has been practicing a bit on some of the maps that they were weak on, especially Escort. So we're probably going to see a bit stronger performance from them on Escort maps. I have been hearing rumors they have been practicing Junker Queen, especially Zora, but I don't know how potent they are just yet on Junker Queen. Um, for you, Ottawa Gray though, I have no idea, frankly speaking. So this is gonna we're going in completely blind.
Yeah, well, I mean, good news is, even if you did do research, you would have to learn French because U Ottawa Gray is a bilingual college and, does utilize French quite a bit. So,
I mean, I do
um,
know a little bit of French.
go on,
I,
say some for our watchers.
Je mange le pois.
I'm gonna pretend like that wasn't a slur. All right,
It isn't.
perfect. Well, we've got Lijiang Tower here. That was Sac State's pick. Nepal might have been banned. I'm not sure. Or they're just deciding to start fresh on Lijiang. But Tundra, the tank for you, Ottawa Gray, is going to be going Junker Queen against Zora's Orisa. They did do a gentleman's agreement at the beginning where Sac State asked whether there could be a agreement to not play Junker Queen. But it looks like Tundra either thought that they were kidding or decided, you know what, this is nationals, you gotta do it. So Flaming
Yeah.
Sushi is gonna be on the Pharah. Dusty gives them a little bit of a speed boost coming out, and it's a Pharmacy mirror
It is a pharmacy mirror.
with no hit scan on the side of Sac State except for Owen, who gets
Yeah.
dangerously low for a second. V Striker
Ooh.
also gets low, but Uno
That is
Nice
huge,
mirror.
really. And Flaming Sushi managed to catch V-Striker as well. The res is unable to be used as the rest of them are just forced out of this fight. That was a really crucial pick very early on here.
Yeah,
Sorry
I mean,
to interrupt, yeah.
Sac State. When you're looking at this combo, you would think that you Ottawa Gray is actually in a better position with that Cassidy, but Sac State just has enough pressure that the Pharah went down first. Junker Queen's going along the left side, gonna try to take the point to Zora and try to stay out of the line of sight for Farah. Flaming Sushi goes down very low, but gets healed back up by Owen and Dusty. Ooh! That was a huge concussion mine by Flaming Sushi, but Cassidy gets Flaming Sushi. Dusty had to stick with the rest of the team.
100
And I
video
don't think...
down though to Zora. Oh wow, Zora just absolutely shredding the main line here.
Yeah, Zora's showing everybody that really
Orisa's
maybe
still good.
that loss was because Zora never got any playtime.
I did mention last week often that Orisa is the play against, or might be the play against Junker Queen, and it seems like I might be right here because Orisa is proving relatively strong. I don't know if that's Zora being Zora or Junker Queen not able to be capitalizing on Orisa. In fact, we do see them swap over to the Orisa themselves. So
Yeah, they did a complete comp switch here, except for the Cassidy, who solo ults Flaming Sushi, but they've switched to a Reaper and a Kiriko. And Sac State is already starting onto that last fight territory in a little bit.
Ooh, that's a
They're
nice
able to
there.
wall off, but not get any value from it. Ooh, Orisa misses the ult.
There, big blizzard.
Yeah, and that's going to be Sac State cleaning up. And now we're at 87.
There we go.
And Zora with the spray.
And that's going to be it, probably. I don't think they're going to be able to reach the point in time.
No, they're not going to be able to, especially with that barrage. And that's going to be it for the first map of Lijiang Tower. That was a really convincing restart to Sacramento State in this group stage. I mean, they were dominant up until they weren't, which was when Connor wasn't here and when half of the team wasn't as well. And I think suddenly we've got the whole band back together. And it looks like nothing has changed. Sac State is just going to start back as they usually are, and they forced Orisa against the Junker Queen. They sort of showed Tundra. You might think the Junker Queen is going to work, even though we said, you know, no Junker Queen. But guess what? We're going to force. And I think that was also what Flaming Sushi was talking about last interview as well. That was a wacky little thing. But he was saying that they're going to force more. They're going to stop changing. It's a Symmetra on V-Striker for uOttawa Gray. And Flaming Sushi already goes down to the Mei. And Zora's flying kind of fast and loose. There are sim turrets everywhere. And this is not looking good for Sac State.
Yeah, they got to back up here. Immortality is used.
Ramatra is very low. But they force Immortality out for uOttawa Gray. And this is going to be uOttawa Gray starting on the point first. It's Mei v Mei here. Just trying to poke.
It seems like uOttawa Gray swapped to a bit more of a close range comp.
Absolutely.
Especially with Ramatra.
Ramatra gets very low for a second there. Somebody has to get rid of those sim turrets. And Flaming Sushi gets Tundra. Ooh, big! Both supports go down for uOttawa Gray.
They use the wall and the amplification matrix too.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge for Sac State, especially because look at all those ults that are coming online for Sac State. And uOttawa Gray only really has that Mei Blizzard.
I forgot. Flaming Sushi is on the Junkrat, or as I have to say the word, everybody, he's on the rat, boys. The rat is back. I had to say it. I had to say it. But let's see here. It looks like they are trying to push up through main here.
Yeah, Sac State's gonna start using some ults. Double Blizzard goes out. The question is, which Blizzard is better?
Higher.
Tire goes out. And that's Sac State winning the fight. Dusty's gonna take on the Sim.
There we go. That was a pretty convincing fight there.
And Sac State did use 2, but they have 3 more.
That's good ult cycling there. Because both support ults are still in the bank. So when this next fight rolls around, Oa can just throw down the amplification matrix and Zora can just shred Tundra before he can get the annihilation off.
Yeah, the annihilation could be big here. He's getting aggressive. He's probably going to pop it soon.
There goes the
amplification comes out. And they have to turn around for the sim turrets. That is going to be kind of a good distraction, but no deaths yet. Flaming Sushi uncontested on the high ground. Annihilation gets popped. Support ultimate comes out. Zora needs to back up, let this annihilation get out. And it gets Dusty. Yeah, that's going to be a big annihilation. They really needed to back up there, give him some space. But they did get it to 92% here. 93 rather.
That's a good stagger from uOttawa Gray there. It means it's going to delay them probably at least to 35 or 37% here for Uno.
Yeah, I mean, ults are now looking like uOttawa Gray is closer, and the sim turrets are going to be there, going to start shredding. The wall comes out early, as well as the Mei wall.
That's a big Terra Surge! Whoa.
Yeah.
That would have been really huge if not.
But two people for the tires. Zora does go down, but ooh, it's trades back and forth. Mei is very low, and so is Ramatra. This is very doable.
They got it.
And the Mei and Lucio got it. They're gonna have to push forward, deny the Lucio from touching. They're not gonna be able to. The Lucio's gonna make it, but not by much. Ottawa Gray is switching over to Desperation. Already the Baptiste is very low. He's gonna have to touch. So is the Tracer. They're cycling back and forth, but the Blizzard goes out. Flaming Sushi gets V Striker, double Blizzard,
That's
and
it.
makes him touch.
And that's it for map number 1 here.
Sac State Gold coming back with a vengeance. Luckily, it did not hurt their mental. And Zora, the prodigal son, returns with the play of the game. Nice little overheat there, but we're not going to talk about that.
Don't tell Bepsi. Do not tell Bepsi that, or else he's going to be having some very choice words to Zora. But that was just textbook. Honestly, that is textbook Sac State here. We saw that a lot in a regional stage. You probably saw that a lot, especially Corona, given how much you've seen of them. Given you said you just was in and out like that. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean, the thing is, Sacramento State, like Flaming Sushi said in the interview after their first defeat in months, Flaming Sushi did say their biggest problem was that they were trying to conform to the meta too much, and they've done well forcing their Orisa, forcing their Junkrat, forcing their Pharah. And you know what? They're going to go back to it. And so far, it is working. I mean, there's definitely times it's the best of five. We can't call it at all yet, but definitely, I mean, Sac State is doing what they said. They're looking confident. And that was their biggest sort of flaw, according to Sushi, was that they were trying too hard to be the team that other teams were trying to push them to be, and they've got to be nobody but Sac State. And so far, I think they're really showing some dominance.
I agree. And going into the next map, what do you expect to see?
Um, yeah, I mean we're still in the ban phases. I think we're going. Did I see Numbani? I'm not
They
sure.
banned Nubani.
Or they banned Numbani. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
gonna
I
be
mean,
hybrid.
it's gonna depend. I think uOttawa Gray definitely needs to sort of adapt to Sac State's playstyle. They did well with the Ramatra for a little bit, I think. And the sim was definitely for a second looking a little scary. But really, it's going to be up to uOttawa Gray to figure out how to punish, uh, really, how to punish Owen. That's usually going to be everybody's main objective here is shut down Owen. And if you shut down Owen, you can hopefully the rest of the team falls. Owen really is that fourth leg on the table that keeps the team as stable as it is. Owen allows for Flaming Sushi to go on flanks, to ego push, that type of stuff. uOttawa Gray is also swapping out a bunch of people. I think that is something that we
Oh,
haven't seen too much. Uh, yeah, I mean,
like
welcome. It wouldn't be a Connor stream without it. Um,
without me hacking into the matrix on the second
right.
monitor.
But I
They
think
are
you
going to
Ottawa Great, sorry, but you Ottawa Great specifically, something that they have that other teams have not is a lot of swaps. They have a lot of subs. And so they do have that maneuverability to swap people out so that Sac State has a brand new team to fight. And I think that is going to work for them.
I agree with you. We saw it a lot with, especially in the match with UNO Black, how Canner coming in kind of changed a lot. What he would, I'm very interested to see what we're going to see from these subs, especially given the fact we're going to Parisio, which
Paraisu. Yeah.
Paraisu,
Yeah.
however you pronounce it. I'm not the biggest fan of this map personally. I think it's too much, a bit too pokey, too not. It just doesn't fit with my playstyle personally. But I do think it's going to be very interesting to see if Sac State's going to try to force Brawl on this map, because I don't know if Brawl would really work very well on this map. What do you think?
Uh, Sorry, there was just a wild noise in our ears here. I think that it is definitely possible. I mean, the thing is, you're asking, can Sac State force something? The answer is yes. We've seen it before. Is it necessarily what most teams would pick? No, but I also think that that is also sort of what makes Sac State get those wins is that they are expecting a completely different thing. They're surely thinking there's no way Sac State keeps the Orisa. There's no way X, Y, and Z. And the answer is yeah, they will. And when you're so used to scrimming against teams that are playing one way, you expect because of the map that certain things are going to happen. By a team forcing something different, I think there is enough that kind of makes you sort of step back and go, Wait, what is this team doing? What are they doing?" And by the time that happens, they've already gotten one tick. And then all of a sudden it's okay, now we have to stop the next tick. And I think Sac State, as long as they keep that aggression, can actually uh, sort of force it by virtue of it being a force, turning that into a way to knock teams down with what they expect.
That's an interesting thought there. I'm thinking we're given the fact we're seeing swaps, especially on this specific map. I think we're probably going to be getting some specialists coming in who are very good at very specific strats. That may pose a problem, especially if that strat is particularly strong on this map, because there are some things that I've seen that are pretty nasty on this map. I've seen that Sigma can work pretty well. I've seen that Reinhardt can work pretty well, especially on the first point. I've seen Winston work incredibly well on this map, especially. Problem is that one comp that I'm fairly certain will cause some trouble is dive, especially given how weirdly proportioned this map is with all the side angles, putting all the high ground, all of that could really lead into a dive comp, which may pose some problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the question is how much has Sac State, how much have they practiced? This was the one thing that they struggled with was the dive. And so I think this is a chance for Sac State to show, what they've been practicing for. So
It is still a bit too early to say exactly what to expect, at least until we see what the heroes they pick will be for this first fight. I'm cautiously optimistic here, but do you think we're going to see the Pharmacy again coming out from Flaming Sushi? It has been working very well, especially on this map with a decently high skybox. We may see it. No, interesting.
yeah, and Zora's going to be on the Ramatra. I mean, but look, we have kind of a quasi dive here, um, with obviously the Winston and the Genji and the Kiriko. I mean, I frankly I think I would actually want to see Flaming Sushi on the Farah. I think it's just so strong. But this is something that Sac State, I mean, if they're not going to be forcing it, then let's see. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens, as the famous Connor quote is. Let's see.
Let's find out. I have seen some play from Zora on the Ramatra, and he has said he's been practicing quite a bit on Ramatra, so... And we see them immediately start to rotate here, because I do expect the dive is going to come out here. There goes Winston, he's jumping in. Oh wow, that burst is insane! The Discord Orb especially is pretty strong against the Winston that he's trying to dive in on the enemy team. And Sojourn does provide a very good punish. Uno acting as a bit more of long-range poke damage here. Seems like kind of a hybrid poke comp with Ramatra. I mean, that can work if they play their cards right. That's a big ante. Winston does jump in. The immortality is used. They get the first pick on Uno. Zora dropped down. Dusty does manage to catch Achu, but Impress catches Flaming Sushi, and Zora goes down on the point as well. And that's going to be the first team fight here. That was really, really fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of, you see Sac State starting to switch over to their comfort picks. Well, Zora actually goes for Junker Queen, but, I think that's fairly what you expect from Sac State when it comes to being dove. They kind of backed up really quickly and gave them a lot of respect.
Ooh, that Winston I'm surprised Sax didn't capitalize on the fact that Winston wasn't entirely there just yet. It seemed like a bit of just poor timing on his part. But it didn't really seem to matter as Uno went down, I think, to that Genji, just some random spam there. Ooh, we do have Hanzo on the flank here, managed to catch out ONG. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Sacramento State.
It is not.
Yeah, for this, I wonder why Canner wasn't swapped in for this map.
Ooh, floppy chicken. That Hanzo is nutty. The Kitsune Rush is used on the point here, but I mean, Sensei really isn't in, so I don't understand why they really use that. Immortality is used to counter that Dragon Blade, and they're just walking out here.
Yeah, but they've got a touch here.
Nano and the Dragon. V-Striker is insanely low. Nano Winston forcing Flaming Sushi into the back here. Ooh, Zora goes down to that Primal. Saxate's is pretty much just the DPS left.
Yeah, Dusty's got to switch off of this Zen.
I agree with you, but I also think Saxate's got to prioritize the targets a little better. They seem kind of scattered. At least, like, they can't focus on one target at a time, because if you notice in that team fight, V-Striker was really, really low there for a while. Oh, and just went a bit too far ahead of his team. They also need to get someone to deal with this Hanzo. Or at least watch out. They're not swapping off the Zen.
I don't agree with it at all.
That Winston bubble gets melted, as they should. That Genji, ooh! Flaming Sushi got really low. Winston does go down. Immortality is used to try and prevent that anti from getting a lot of value. They could just be a bit more aggressive here, since Winston isn't back just yet. And he swaps over to the Junker Queen. I suppose that makes sense, but at the same time, that Winston was working really well. I'm surprised they swapped over the Junker Queen. Saxay is going to have almost 5 ults here for this team fight. That Blizzard especially could pose a real problem for this, since their dive is now a bit less potent since the Winston's gone. We have the Transcendence used. That would be a perfect Rampage, but I'm surprised it didn't get used. I mean, actually, no, it didn't really matter, because Flaming Sushi used that Death Blossom, gets 3 from that. Ooh, that was a lot of value. And the Hanzo gets picked off as well. That was a very good stagger there, because now they have to regroup, but that's going to give a lot more time. They do have 3.5 minutes just to get around this corner. It's not looking very good. What do you think, Karana?
No, I agree. I mean, Sac State is starting to stabilize by virtue of the point. There's less opportunity for dive when they're playing kind of so scared, but
Dragon Blade comes out.
Ults are going to start coming out, and you can see that they are really prioritizing going for Owen. I believe that is a nanoed Kiriko, which was not the intended target. They were trying to go for a nano blade, but Uno gets killed. Luckily, the Blizzard does come out. That was almost a ult cancel.
Zora getting 3. Achu is going to go down as well. It seems like we're seeing them swap off the Genji and go to a bit more brawl with the Reaper. The Hanzo is still online, so I'm fairly certain the fight is going to try and go for a Dragon Strike for this next team fight. Maybe a bit more range.
Ooh, Dusty.
Ooh, Dusty! That is rough. Flaming Sushi is pretty low. They capitalize on the fact that there was only Owen alive. Anti that manages to catch Uno, and they have to back up here.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
Ooh. Reaper's behind.
Reaper's in their backline, and Sac State has backed up a lot.
Dragon Strike. That's a very good Dragon Strike to try and counter that amplification matrix. ONG does go down to Anshu. It's just Lucio heals now. Zora goes down as well, but so does Impress. Almost 2 minutes. Sac State's holding pretty well, because they used pretty much a lot of ults there from Ottawa. But Sac State, I don't think they used any at all, except for the amplification.
They did use the Blizzard, but Uno's almost gotten it back. I think they used the Rampage too, but I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, no, they used it very early on in that team fight. Oh, and
Yeah.
she swaps over to the Kiriko, which does make sense, especially with how potent those Ana nades have been. That does make a lot of sense, especially to try and help deal with
Oh, they're
this
going
Reaper.
on the Junker Queen.
Ooh.
But look, there's a C9!
C9!
There's a C9, you dumb! That's crazy. That is crazy. Sacramento State just getting their hubris. This is the problem with Sac State. You could see.
Absolutely. Oh god,
You could see that the call was made. Go on the Junker Queen. Go, go, go. And nobody was looking at that little bar. And that's going to be 1 minute and 13 seconds. Now, that is far better than the 3 minutes 30 that we were looking at the beginning. But that was also completely avoidable. Sac State had ults coming up. And yeah, it's... that's gotta be that's gotta be frustrating.
That's rough, buddy. That's rough.
Yeah, that's the type of mistake that you don't want to be seeing in the Nationals group stage. You know,
I mean, it happened at Overwatch League level, so it's not like it's impossible to happen. That's why that's why C9 exists.
well, C9 happened before Overwatch League. Cloud9 was not in the Overwatch League.
Before
but
it's at that level.
sure, professional Overwatch, indeed.
Yeah. They did swap over to a Diva. Interesting. Zora swapping to the Sigma. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Sigma does work pretty well. I think what would be better is a Zarya here, especially with the Torb and the Diva. A Zarya would probably be the bit of a better choice. But as soon as they figure out there's a Diva, we might see Zora swap over to the Zarya. At least after this one team fight. NECC has got to be careful here. There's going to be a lot of range pressure coming from the Torb turret and from Ashe. Plus also Ana as well. Oh, wow. That's a just pure focus fire there coming out from the backline of Ottawa. Ana getting pressured quite a lot as forced off the high ground. And NECC using the geometry of the map here. Ooh, that's a nice headshot from Floppy Chicken. Picks up NECC. Uno catching out HU. The res is forced to be used, but V-Striker gets two. One with the Torp turret and one by himself. I am still surprised that we don't see NECC off the Sigma and onto the Zarya. I still think that Zarya is the right call, especially with the amount of damage Ottawa's putting out. Getting decently high charge would be very, very easy.
I don't know about the Sojourn here. I'm not really sure why Flaming Sushi keeps trying to force the Sojourn. I didn't really think it was working on the original. I mean, Pharah does counter Torb pretty well.
I think he's maybe trying to farm some charge, railgun charge off the turret, potentially. Or maybe trying to use that grenade there to force him off the high ground. Whoa, they are all in the same area. I'm surprised Uno is not throwing a dynamite to try and just poke them all out of that. They are really, really low. I'm surprised Uno still has not used his dynamite. Okay, there it goes. But okay, I don't know what's going on here, but all right, we're not gonna ask questions. I think Sushi goes down. I think it was just as that spam inside that little alcove there. Diva gets DMAC again. Wow, Diva just got DMAC really insanely fast there, and that's gonna be the first point. Not as convincing as I would expect. It's not as convincing as I thought. But Sojourn seems to sort of be working. I mean,
yeah, it definitely is working a lot more now than it was at the beginning. And I'll tell you why. It's because there's a Mercy.
That's right. V-Striker does go down to that railgun shot. Overclock is online. Res is forced to be used. Sigma is getting it really low there. Overclock goes out, but he's getting forced off the high ground. That was a nice little strafe job there. Dusty gets left behind. Diva gets nanoed to try and survive. And Bob as well goes out, forming up some railgun charge. I am surprised that NECC is still just letting the railgun sit at 100% like that. I would just honestly, I would just throw it out. I've seen that a lot with Overwatch League players. They just throw it out sometimes, especially when they have high charge. But maybe he knows what he's doing better than I am. I mean, he's a player, I'm not, so he probably knows what he's doing better than I do. Let's see though. The Torb still is in the backline, is slightly in the backline there. Zora gets insanely low there. The Molten Core comes out on the point. Zora is still just shooting down the turret. Ana goes down alongside Uno. Bob is out on the cart here. The bomb does come out. Doesn't catch anybody, but Empress does get Dusty with the missiles. It's just the Torb on the point here. And I think the rest of Ottawa's got to back off here because it's just the tank and the support left. That's probably going to be this next. That's probably going to be the next point. I don't think they're going to get back in time to.
They will. They're there. If they want to, they can. Definitely.
I don't think it's. I think they may just try to.
Team.
Yeah, that's true. Genji is in now. Flaming Sushi gets low. Valkyrie is used to try and force this point here. Both Valkyries actually. Zora is still on the high ground. That's a very powerful spot to be for Sigma. D.Va gets VMAC'd. That's a big anti. Genji again in the backline. Does nobody see V-Striker in the backline here? Res is used on Uno. ONG gets slept. V-Striker is almost getting ONG. He did, but they did get the point.
Ooh, and they nanoed Genji. That's really bad for uOttawa. It's kind of a C9, sort of.
That's a waste.
Oh, there you go.
A definite waste there of that nano. So let's see what exactly is going to go on. I mean, the Sigma is actually really working. Like you said, Zora's Sigma is actually honestly pretty good. So it is providing a lot of pressure, and it's still just humming along, still just pushing it. They have 2.5 minutes to get all the way around this corner. That is a really, that was a really big thought out sleep there. Just bit much there. The flux goes out. Uno almost catching out the support of Achu. D.Va in the backline here is trying to catch ONG. D.Va's bomb does come out. Doesn't get anybody. D.Va gets killed before she's able to remech. Zora's still just pushing away. It's just the supports left. And ONG uses the amplification matrix to try and poke a little at their spawn. Zora is just absolutely crushing it on the Sigma right now. That is
That's
very
fine
sad.
though. The Bob goes down really quickly. They switched to Junker Queen.
I mean, I guess that is a good idea because Junker Queen is pretty strong against Sigma because she could just walk
Flaming
into his
Sushi
face.
Uncontested right now on
That's
that
right.
high ground.
Blizzard comes out. They are gonna have to. They have to try and prevent this revive here. Make sure the Mercy is unable to get it. Valkyrie still is used, but
Sac State
they're
pushes it faster.
They got it by 5 seconds. They pushed it faster by 5 seconds.
But they pushed it far more convincingly. I mean, at no point after that first on the actual hybrid part, on the actual escort part of this map, really, uOttawa didn't stop Sac State convincingly, really at all. The one time they did, Sac State still managed to cap the point, and sort of, I think they were looking for a nano blade there, and they got rid of the nano instead of the blade, and it was too late. So, I mean, Sac State, I think for their mentals, that certainly helped. I was concerned about that horrific C9, whether that would make them almost resigned to their fate that they deserved to lose, which frankly, I think they do, because that was horrific and nobody should be making that mistake. And how dare you, in fact, make me watch that. But after that, you know, Sac State kind of came back for a second there, and I think they're looking better. Again, we know that Sac State, their mental is super important. And so the fact that they were able to push it that, I thought that said millennial anxiety, and I was like, I feel that, but then I read the rest of it. Anyway, this is good. Zora is on the D.Va.
I
which
mean
is interesting.
that's not a bad idea, especially against Winston dive because D.Va can kind of punish the Winston dive a little bit, especially against the shotguns. Winston
Yeah,
is
but Dusty's back on the Zen.
I don't think that's the right call here. What I think potentially might be a better idea than the Zen is honestly a Brig. Honestly. It may sound crazy, but I honestly think a Brig is a slightly better call here than the Zen. Sure, it
Ooh,
gives you a lot
Kiriko
more
goes down.
Ooh, Zora really early getting the Kiriko.
And already we're at 30 seconds for them to be able to cap and get a tick.
They're gonna have to try and just rush here.
Yeah, V-Striker half. Anna's trying to heal up the monkey. This is last fight territory here.
Winston's lurking. Winston's looking for a dive opportunity here. But they gotta get on the point. They got 10 seconds now. Rough. Yeah, no, 10 seconds now. The Discord still is on that Winston. And Sac State's still just holding. Uno catches V-Striker. That's not what you want to see coming into this last bit of the map.
Yeah, and D.Va's on the supports right now. The monkey is roughly alone, but so is Flaming Sushi. Flaming Sushi goes down, but so will the monkey. And that's going to be it. They don't get a tick.
They do not. All Sac State has to do is just get one tick, and they take this map here, which I'm fairly confident they can get. Honestly, I'm fairly confident they can get at least one tick here, given the fact that when the last team fight did happen on this first point, it was pretty much they got in. It kind of was a little back and forth. Then they got the point. So if they can kind of just not let that happen as much.
Yeah, I mean, remember what the time was, Connor. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it took them like about 3 minutes to get the first tick on the point, if I recall correctly. I think it was like a minute and 45 left or something like that when they had originally capped it. So, you know, it is possible, but Sac State's really gonna have to, I would say, almost play aggressively, or not almost, but they're gonna have to play aggressively, and not sort of let uOttawa Gray bully them back. Zora's gonna stay on the D.Va here.
Which I think is a pretty good call, especially against basically against triple hit scan DPS here. That defense matrix is gonna get a lot of value, especially if it eats like a rocket or a dynamite. It's gonna get a decent amount of value. The only really thing Zora has to worry about is that Sigma Rock. They are on the high ground pretty much all of Sac State now. That's the benefit of their comp, is that they can kind of move as a unit since they all have movement abilities. ONG has his Moon Shoes, Dusty has Guardian Angel, Flaming Sushi has that slide, and Uno has
Zora needs help.
Uno on main here. Ooh, Uno almost goes down there. That would have been really tight. ONG is getting really low. Same with Zora. Zora is insanely low here.
Flaming Sushi gets sloppy chicken though.
And they are forced to use the res.
Ooh, Zora, no!
Zora a bit too aggressive there. Trying to just get on the point. I guess that makes sense, but Flaming Sushi flanked around alongside ONG. Ooh.
This is possible. All they have to do is the pick.
Is.
Yeah, this is going to be Sac State getting
they're
it.
Gonna get it, yeah. They're good. Ooh, Uno, that was close.
Yeah,
That's
Uno
it.
also almost went down, but Zora was there either way. And Sac State taking 2 maps. That definitely was, they could have saved us some trouble and held them another 2 minutes, which was definitely possible. But we're not going to talk about that anymore. Impressed with the play of the game on Winston.
It was this Nano Winston play, which, honestly, good work from Imprez. Like I said, I expected to see Dive come out, especially on this map, given how powerful Dive is. And I'm assuming that is their those were their dive comp experts. So we may see a swap back to like Tundra potentially, especially if we go to someplace like, well, I don't know. Oh, my Sombra hacked my camera again. So you take it, Karina.
Yeah, that's about normal again. I mean, this is just so you guys know, the coach Dusp said good match, and I really liked the back cap. They deserved it, which is frankly my exact thoughts. Again, Sac State, they tunneled and they paid the price for it. They were able to bring it back, but yeah, that was something that they should be thinking about for a while now. Somebody's got to keep an eye on that little thing that
Progress bar at
shows
the
the
top.
cart.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um we are at the point, Connor, where we are uOttawa Gray has to do something, and it's Sac State's map.
it
Uh
is.
this is not looking good for uOttawa Gray simply because if Sac State wins this map, they're out
Yeah,
completely.
just
This is the decider for both teams. If Sac State Gold wins, U Ottawa Gray's hopes at nationals are doused, and same the other way. But Sac State gets to have the privilege of sitting back. They can afford to lose a map or even two. Surely they don't want to, but U Ottawa Gray really has to step it into high gear. They're gonna start swapping more people out, and I think the swap did help them. Certainly, Sac State was not sure what they were gonna get with Imprez swapping in for Tundra and that type of stuff, and it looks like they're gonna swap in Chris, who I don't think was in the first map. I'm not even sure. The thing
I
is
don't
there's
think
so
so.
many
No.
people that you don't even know anymore who you played and who you didn't. And I think that is sort of a tactic, like I said, that you Ottawa Gray has, just with that sort of X factor, if you will. But they're gonna have to do something here. And again, it's Sac State's map.
That it is. What do you think they're gonna play though? Because it's push, or it's not push. It's payload. What do you think they're gonna play? Like, what kind of map do you think we might see? They don't really particularly like a lot of the payload maps. They don't
No, they
like
do not.
Junkertown. They don't really like Havana. They don't really like what else is there? I don't know, Blizzard World's hybrid. What else is there?
I'll tell you what else there is. Route
What?
66.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Thank God. If they say we're gonna play Route 66, I might quit. After the
They're
back
just
cap and then that,
they just BM it. They just be BMing at that stage.
they're doing it on purpose just for me. I frankly think, and this is kind of a left field take, but I think the Sac State should pick Havana. Frankly, I think that the spawn camp hold on defense is completely worth it. Havana is also a Farah map in many capacities, so you can see Flaming Sushi as the Farah, and Havana really helps Sac State with just how aggressive they are. It really is. It forces brawl if you do the spawn camp. So the question is, what are the things that are going to be banned? And looks like Dorado was banned and Gibraltar was banned.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Gibraltar yet, like at all. Have we? Like at all in this series? I don't think so. Like
I
at all,
don't think so.
even in NECC.
Oh wait,
Wait,
sorry. It's
we
you
are
Ottawa
going to
Gray's map.
Gibraltar. We're
I
going to
apologize.
Gibraltar. Yeah, because person who loses picks maps.
That's true. That's true.
But we're going to Gibraltar. Oh baby, we're going back to Overwatch 1.
Yeah, this is something that's kind of a loose cannon. Um, we I don't really know how Sac State is gonna do with Gibraltar. Certainly, you can have Farah on a few things, but it seems like Flaming Sushi wants to stick with the Sojourn. I think Sojourn works on Gibraltar. There's a lot of high grounds that you can get to that are hard to contest. Um, I mean, Sac State's gonna have to really think about this. They probably are gonna switch Zora for Canner um, for this third map. That's what they like to do. And yep, there it is.
Yeah,
Canner goes in, Zora gets swapped out, and GFU Hookbait wanted to see Canner in clutch time, and this is it. This is the clutch time for Canner. This is a little bit different of a clutch time than he has been in the past, as far as Canner doesn't start the reverse sweep, but he certainly can stop it from happening. So Tanner's probably gonna go on that Sigma and You know,
We
we're gonna
may
see what
see it on the
happens.
Reinhardt though, because Reinhardt's pretty good on this map, especially given the fact, especially around the second point, Reinhardt's pretty strong. But like you said, we're probably gonna see Sigma at least for the first point.
Yeah, and here we are, Watch Point Gibraltar. Haven't heard these words in a while.
It's like we're
Bringing
back
back.
to 2016.
Yeah.
Oh boy. The nostalgia of Watch Point Gibraltar. The map that wasn't in Overwatch 2 for how long again?
Yeah, and it was that on purpose. But we can also talk about the fact that Overwatch 2 uh, can now officially just be called Overwatch. There is no
Yeah.
2, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Blizzard has
2
done
was
it
a lie.
again.
They lied to us!
And
How dare
frankly, what else have they? It's not even a how dare they at this point. It's just, of course they did. You know, that just is what it is, and that's why we are volunteer casters. Because also Blizzard doesn't care about collegiate. So here we are. You know, it just it is what it is, and we're still playing it because of some sort of Stockholm syndrome, I think.
Nah,
And
it's just nobody plays
eventually
TF2 anymore.
eventually we're gonna wake up, and it'll all be a dream.
Yeah.
But until then, we continue.
The
Such
only
is
reason I
life.
play this game at all is because a lot of people play TF2 anymore. That's really the only reason. In fact, I think I'm actually gonna go back to TF2 in the wars.
Millions of people play TF2. Connor, they're just all bots. All right, we have two Winstons going at it. Winston for Winston. Yo, Cursey Boy on the Widow. It's gonna be Widow versus Uno. They see the Widow now, and it's actually gonna be really good for that Widow, for the Winston. If Canner can focus on that, that'll be great, but he's getting low. Dusty is very caught out right now. He could be punished. Ooh, good shot by Uno.
Excellent work there, buddy.
Yeah, and they're getting very low. Suzu is used. And Monkey versus Genji. Monkey usually wins. Monkey goes down very low. Anti is used. Flaming Sushi has to back up just a little bit, and they are moving the point.
Ooh.
You can see Flaming Sushi just tanks the Monkey. Just stares at him, does not move. And the Monkey is also antied.
That is
Flaming
some
Sushi
absolute...
almost to overclock. And this is the chaos of 2016, back when we really thought that Blizzard cared about Overwatch and that it had a future. Flaming Sushi does go down, and so does ONG. And so will Dusty, probably.
No.
Actually, Dusty wins. Uno gets very low, but they're gonna have to recontest this. They get nothing if that cart touches it. Anna has to use it, and Canner goes down, but they
sleep there from Imprez, but
they use the nano. That's gonna be huge for Sac State. It's gonna be okay that they get this point. Uno has to die here or get out. That was kind of Uno misjudged the length of that jump, was trying to stop it at the last minute, but it didn't quite work. Imprez gonna go and push Sac State back even further, but that's actually gonna help Sac State. They're gonna be able to back up and reconnect with Uno.
I am still very, very interested to see, especially when this overclock comes out. Sac State's gonna have 5 ults here. Flaming Sushi managed to catch out Lemort. I don't know. Imprez catches out Uno. Both DPS are now dead from Sac State. I think they should probably not use any ults here. Canner. Ooh, Canner. Just had no backup there. Uno swaps over to the Sombra. I mean, that is a decent idea, especially against the Genji. That is a relatively decent idea. Because Genji focuses so much on abilities. It can provide a decent amount of value. ONG getting really low there. Ooh. Canner's got to get out. I don't think this Canner on the Winston's really working here. I'm just we just see Impress still waiting for the time to initiate here. Both Kitsune rushes are used alongside the blade. Ooh. That was a really strong blade there. It's just pretty much Cantor left on the card here. Karina, what do you think Sac State could potentially try and do better here?
Yeah, Sac State is getting rolled, Connor. That's just about what's happening. And there's nothing really that Sac State can do to stop it, because welcome to Gibraltar. This is what we like to call in the business a snowball. The moment Sac State got caught out with Uno on that late jump on the first point, it was lost, Connor. Because at no point did Sac State really have time to do a full 5 group up. They are getting some stragglers, but Uno's going to have to TP out, and now it's just Cantor. They are going to stop it a little bit, but we're in the same as Paraisu as far as uOttawa just kind of rolling Sac State on the push.
We see Dusty swap over to the Moira. What's the thought process behind that, you think? Because
it's for the Genji.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
It's that simple. It's for the Genji, and if they press tab, they'll notice the Genji is no longer Genji. So we'll see whether Dusty notices that. Probably won't, because he's too busy healing at this point. Flaming Sushi has to use recall.
Healing as a Moira? Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Suzu is used. Yo Chrissy Boys gets Uno. Frankly, I think the Uno Sombra pick is a bit of a troll.
I don't think it's really working here at all. And yeah, that's gonna be it. The Nano is used as well. That was big EMP, but all is in vain, really. Unfortunately, like you said, Karina, that was just a snowball. What do you think we could potentially try to see here, coming out from Sac State, especially on the
a next map, Connor?
A next map?
That's what I think Sac State is looking for.
You are very, very pessimistic here. Let's try.
I'm realistic, all right. I'm realistic. The thing is, we've seen a pattern with Sac State. They get rolled on the push when it's anything that is remotely not what they're comfortable in. I think, frankly, like, this is kind of a repeat of last week, as far as them not playing roles that not playing heroes that they're particularly super comfortable in. I would rather see Sac State force something at this point than continuing with the sort of dive 2016 of it all. They're just not a 2016 team. They're a 2023 team, and that's okay. Frankly, I think a 2023 team beats a 2016 team more than it does a 2023 team trying to be a 2016 team beating a 2016 team. This is I think this might be just a little bit of a buy. They don't like this map. And the quicker they get done with this, the more they can get to some place that they actually want to be.
So basically just passing through at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. I would not put too much thought into this one, simply because they can afford to. And because... Ooh!
There.
Yeah, that's some big stickies. But the res is used, so it doesn't really get any value.
I mean, they did gain make a lot of space from that, so it wasn't entirely worthless.
Yeah, unfortunately, the thing with a Mercy with this is Mercy's gonna get caught out really quickly. Even with an Echo and a Tracer, Mercy can sort of get caught without her people. And that's what happens to Lamore. Lamore goes down, but so does Cantor. Diva's gonna get demeched here. But Echo is very low and gets no healing. See, that's what happened. The Mercy got caught out, exactly what I said. Couldn't fly to the Echo because the Echo has a different flying mechanic. Echo and Mercy can work, but there are a lot of times when it can't. as you can see, Sac State is kind of stuck here in a bad position. The cart is slightly moving, but in order for it to move, they have to split up, which is
Kitsune
not
Rush
what you
is
want to see.
used to force Ottawa off the high ground here. Counter Kitsune is used as well.
Owen
ONG
gets Yo Chrissy Boy, but V Striker gets Uno, and Flaming Sushi's also gonna go down to Impress, and that's gonna be another hold. Again, we are in the position where Sac State, even if they push, they're gonna be on a deficit for time at this point.
We do see some slight swaps though, especially to Diva. I think the owner's just waiting for a good chance to use the duplicate. Oof. That was a rough pick there. Your Christy Boy catching up Flaming Sushi. I am not as cautious. And I'm just kind of content now. The fact that I don't think it's really working here. I have to agree with you, honestly.
Yeah, this is what we like to call in the business a GG go next.
Yeah, it honestly is at this point. I mean,
yeah,
unless
there's no reason at this point. Let's say they try their super hardest, they get lucky, right? They push it, all right?
and they get
they're at such a deficit that they're gonna be exerting so much time and energy to this Gibraltar that they could be exerting to the next map that they would more easily win.
And they get to pick too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is don't let this hurt your mental. Hang out, enjoy the sights, and move on. I mean, I'm not too worried. We knew, from the start, it's Gibraltar. That's not something.
We're getting some red play, finally.
We are, but it's 20 seconds. Good luck with that.
I mean, he's probably just gonna charge onto the point here, and just all go no stop, feed. That's probably what's gonna happen here. I mean, it seems to be somewhat. Oh, never mind. Your Chrissy Boy catching out Dusty again. Canner getting a pick on your Chrissy Boy. That Blossom is used. Catches two. It's just Canner and Flaming Sushi left, pretty much. And Canner. Rip the homie. Rip the homie. Well, that's going to be map number 3. It's tied. It's 2-1 right now. But Sac State does get a chance to pick the next map. So I am and it's going to be, I believe it's push next, right? Is that what it is?
Just enjoy the slaughter, Connor.
I'm trying to be positive, okay? I'm trying to be positive.
A moment of silence.
Rip the homie. Rip the homie.
Do do do. Do do do. Anyway, next map. I mean, frankly, here's the deal, right? As long as Sac State is able to adopt the GG go next mentality, this really shouldn't stop Sac State at all. I mean, DOSP is asking for a push ban. That can't happen. That's not how NECC works.
You gotta play the modes, boys.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that Sac State, like you said, has been practicing push. I promise you, they were not practicing Watch Point Gibraltar, because who would? Frankly, I think uOttawa Gray had a great call to go to Gibraltar. It was the perfect map for them to pick, and that's why the moment they picked it, I pretty much knew that it was not going to go well for Sac State, especially with Paraisu and what we saw from that. Even though Sac State won Paraisu, it's the same kind of map as far as sightlines and everything like that.
Although since we are go
on.
No, continue. No, continue.
No,
You were
no,
talking. Sorry.
no, please.
I was all right. Did you already see Zora back?
I don't know. I think, frankly, probably not. They probably have too much faith in Canner. That sounded rough, but I mean, the thing is, right, Canner is supposedly the clutch, the anchor for the team. Um, and Colosseo is definitely a long sightline type of team. But the thing is, uOttawa Gray is swapping in Tundra, and they're going to be with that swap. So does Zora. I think that's a great call. Zora was definitely diffing Tundra on that tank. And so I think this is definitely a map that Sac State can force brawl. I mean, that's definitely, I think that is the best push or the best option for Sac State. And I think this definitely brings Sac State into their comfort zone again, even though they've never liked push. Certainly, especially with them practicing it and Zora coming back in, I think that's going to be a huge breath of fresh air. And as long as they stay positive, I think this should be a tidy win for Sac State, especially with Tundra back in on tank.
The difference though is Chrissy Boy on the DPS still, which he did very well on Gibraltar. Whether or not that was just the Gibraltar difference, or if it is a sign of things to come, I can't really say. But he did
Yeah, I
do
mean,
very well.
definitely Yo Chrissy Boy was a sniper, right? And uh there is definitely some sniper possibility on Colosseo. A lot of sniper possibility on Colosseo. So, whether Flaming Sushi wants to play Farah into Yo Chrissy Boy, probably not. Um I think that's probably a good thing, but good thing for Flaming Sushi. He doesn't really prefer to play Farah. We haven't seen too much Farah. We saw Farah in Lijiang, which was really really good for the Lijiang, but that was, as you said, without Yo Chrissy Boy. So I don't know. I think this is definitely a situation for Flaming Sushi to play that Junkrat, even to play the Sojourn. I mean, I think Sac State is back where they want to be.
I agree. I have to agree with you. One thing I really do want to see though from the Sushi still is the Cassidy. He was an absolute monster on that Cassidy. So if they do play something like a Farah or some other sort of like flyer, we're probably going to see the Cassidy come out. But other than that, I agree with you. We're probably gonna either see Junkrat or Sojourn coming out Flaming Sushi. But the question is, what is Uno gonna play? Reaper maybe? May? I think Reaper is the play here because Reaper is basically pretty much meta on push at least because you could just kind of DM around the robot. So, uh,
Yeah, I mean, he also was playing the Ash. There
that he
was
was.
definitely some Ash that was being played, and I don't think the Ash was particularly a negative um, sort of position on the team, if you will. So I don't know. I think that Sac State has a lot of options, which is also a good thing to have. We're gonna be waiting to see what the picks are. We saw flashes of a Doomfist from Tundra,
He did that at
which,
the first map though, so take it with a grain of salt.
yeah, I mean, I actually think the Doomfist could be a problem for Sac State, a little bit. They now know Sac State's sort of weakness, so I don't know. The question is, how much does you? We're going for the feet again. Really? How did you
It,
find feet
there
on this
has
map?
to be every single time he finds one, whether it's Sigma, whether it's statues, whether it's Winston, he finds them, ladies and gentlemen. He finds them always. Nothing is safe. Nothing is
Yeah, that's a
sacred.
grown man, everyone.
That is
Grown man.
that is a grown man, baby. But
Anyway, we do have matching Junker Queens. The Flaming Sushi Tracer. I don't like it. I want
I
it
mean,
switched.
I agree with you. I want to kind of switch, but it seems like they're going for a bit more of a close range brawl here instead of a bit less of a like one shot potential. They're kind of going for a bit more like harassment, especially with the May.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely poking around this robot, waiting for it to unlock. And there's a lot of damage going out. And Flaming Sushi,
Ooh.
though, gets killed. I hope he swaps from that. I really do. I think there needs to be more damage coming out. He doesn't. But there's really not a, there's not a big answer.
Uno. Getting picked by a big icicle there. Dusty
Yeah.
tried to get back to his team, but wasn't able to. What just happened there? Flaming Sushi dies again. I think just another icicle straight to the head.
Yeah, they better rethink this.
I agree. No, he's sticking with it.
Flaming Suit. Okay, he does. Thank God.
So the Cassidy. Woo! I did say I wanted to see the Cassidy. Maybe he's listening to me. Maybe he's in our comms. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The Cassidy nerf, though, did come out. That nade is not as useful.
And he's now at 200 HP.
Yeah.
Back to what it was in Overwatch 1. Like for a
Ooh.
while. That was a nasty headshot. That Blizzard really didn't get a lot of value.
No.
Dusty almost catches. Oh, that is a very nice Blizzard to try and counter the Kitsune Rush. Gets 2 in the Blizzard there.
And it forces out.
Ooh! Nice knife there.
That was a
from
nasty knife by Zora. That flick over above it. Wow, that was class. That was what you want to see. Using the words of Connor.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah, this is now a mirror, folks. Just in case you were aware.
It is.
And there are ults available. There's gonna be 2 high noons, 2 rampages.
Ooh, Uno, man, just catching out your Chrissy boy.
And that was their high noon.
That was. That was
nasty. Holy mother of pearl. That Flaming Sushi, I'm sure, is absolutely feeling himself. Jeez.
I think you might want to rephrase that, but we're gonna keep moving on.
No, he's feeling himself. I mean, in the perfect gamer sense of the term. I mean, I'm sure that those comms are just
lighting up.
Flaming Sushi right now is on fire.
Indeed. Kitsune Rush comes out. I mean, I don't really understand why it was used in that specific area, in that specific way. Flaming Sushi does go down. Rampage comes out. That's a pretty decent Rampage. Catches 2.
Ooh, Dusty is 1 HP in the dream and gets caught out.
Yep. And all that's up for support here is ONG. But the Blizzard comes out, catching your Chrissy boy. Ooh. Kind of swinging this a bit back. Ooh, that Lucio's getting low.
Uno gets a chew. A hew, if you will.
A few, yes.
I think a hew is the French. Ooh, again! Tundra is just getting disrespected.
I don't understand why they used the Rampage at that point. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
My goodness. I hate to be so rude to a player that isn't ours, but I said at the beginning, if Tundra goes in, put Zora back in because he was getting diffed, and
And Dusty is going to go and ferry ONG here.
Of course, and they're still pushing it.
Yeah. Kitsune Rush does come out. Tundra getting a very early pickup on Dusty. Getting another pickup on Sushi. They gotta back up here. There's 2 down. They've gotta back up here.
Owen is 1 HP again.
Pretty much all that's left is Zora at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the good news here is that Sac State did push it further. So this is now in Sac State's favor, even though there is 5 minutes left.
I agree. They are a bit down on the ult economy, though, but the Kitsune Rush would change a few things. High Noon is used.
Gets nothing. Zora goes down.
Very low. Blizzard is used on...
Uno has another Blizzard.
Uno is just building that Blizzard really fast right now. I'm surprised he didn't use his ice block there to try and save his life, but...
I think he already used it earlier.
And he must not have had it. Maybe they were just trying to farm some ult charge, but ONG use the Kitsune Rush for that. I don't know if that was really worth it.
Yeah, Owen on the Kiriko, I don't love. I'm gonna be honest, but
Big Rampage. Blizzard comes out. Zora is going to pop his shout. That
ooh, that's a bigger
big,
rampage.
that's a
Bigger
much
rampage.
Much bigger Rampage.
Tundra is back with a vengeance. Tundra
Yes, he
was
is.
tired of repeatedly failing over and over, as I'm sure Sac State was on Gibraltar. So there you go. This is now becoming a real fight here. uOttawa has now pushed it past Sac State, so now it's in uOttawa's favor.
High Noon is online for Flaming Sushi. This could be a very potent zoning tool, especially as it's coming around onto basically just a straight line at this point here. High Noon is used. The Sound Barrier did effectively counter that. Zora catching out Yo Chrissy Boy very early on here. There has been
but
some
Flaming
changes to
Sushi's
push.
3 HP.
Flaming
Nobody's
Sushi
healing
does go
her.
down. Nobody is healing him, yeah. But they still do have the advantage here, as there has actually been a change to push recently where the respawn times for people who are on the offense has been increased by a sizable margin, by about 2 seconds. So there has been some changes to the push game mode. It's not as did they forget to throw
Yeah,
out there for a
they
minute?
forgot. It's yep. They're
It's
just
okay.
repeating Perisu. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's
Sac
all
State
right.
is not an objective team, folks. Sac State is a kill team.
Zora getting really low there. Tundra is being incredibly aggressive. Blizzard again!
Uno is
A monster at building those blizzards. Tundra goes down.
ooh, gets
Ooh.
Uno.
Does get Uno. The blizzard does come out.
Ooh, Zora has
gets
1
picked off.
HP.
Yep.
It's just Dusty on the point.
Yeah, it is just Dusty, and all that Ottawa has is Kiriko and May.
Sac State have used a lot of ults in that fight, but so did Ottawa. I mean, it's kind
doesn't have
of
any
even
left.
on the ults.
There is the Rampage still online as well. Zack said they did not use that, so that's still in play. Uno has to be careful, especially, but Flaming Sushi as well has to be extremely careful because he is getting focused really hard.
Ooh.
Nice headshot from Flaming Sushi. Big Rampage there. Tundra is insanely low, and Sac State just cleans up. Especially after they managed to win that with only 1 ult there with the Rampage.
Yeah, I mean, we're now at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and Sac State doesn't have to push it too far, but it's still Ottawa's game. If they stop them, but there's no ults really for them to stop. Ooh, Flaming Sushi gets caught out. Doesn't call for healing enough, and he's got to use the sound barrier.
Yep, to try and stabilize here on the point.
Yeah, that is not good for Sac State.
Uno! Getting again, but getting a bit too aggressive there.
Ooh, that
What
TP.
What just happened with that wall climb? Did it not?
Yeah,
They're just
something
resetting.
happened there. But they can't really reset for too much because they didn't push it far enough. I mean, we might be in an overtime scenario. I'm not really too sure.
On the middle part of here and just try and DM it.
I'm not sure what happened with Flaming Sushi. He was low for quite a bit. And
there is 5 ults on the side of Ottawa.
yeah, this is not good.
Counter High Noon comes out. Nice wall there from Uno to keep the High Noon at bay. Blizzard is used.
He hasn't done it yet, though.
Rampage.
Ooh,
Kitsune Rush comes out.
yeah.
I don't really understand precisely why that was Kitsune Rush was used there, because it's pretty much just Dusty, ONG, and Zora on the point here.
Yeah, there's nothing for them to do here.
It's a very big Rampage, but it's just Zora now. That's gonna probably be it.
It's definitely going to be it. I mean,
That's it.
Flaming Sushi going to... Their chance was that one point when, you know, Sac State was... Flaming Sushi went down first. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Oh, it seems like there might have been some connection issues. Because we do see in the chat that Dusty got DC'd twice during that game. Maybe there might have been a bit of like, a bit of bad mental. Look at me. I mean, who am I to talk? Look at my camera. Look at me. My camera is all completely screwed up.
All right, folks. It is 2-2.
They're trying to
We
give us
are
entertainment.
a tied game on our NECC group stage deciders. And
All right, fix.
yeah, that is Sac State is honestly the fact that that it was relatively pro Sac State that whole time. There was a lot of really convincing Sac State pushes there. But the final that last fight right there was just it was not it. I'm again, I really don't know what happened there with Flaming Sushi going down so quickly on that bridge. If Flaming Sushi hadn't gone down, I think it would have gone very differently because then Dusty had to use the sound barrier as a reflex because there wasn't enough healing for Zora either. I think that I I don't know. I almost wish that Owen had swapped to BAP instead of the Kiriko. I don't know how much healing the Kiriko was really doing versus what Sac State is used to with that Baptiste.
I agree, but we do see them. We are going to go to control, so maybe they just didn't want to really play push that much.
Yeah, they definitely did that on purpose. You're so right. Just like Gibraltar, in fact. Sac State is so confident on control that they said, you know what, we'll sandbag 2 matches or 2 games, 2 maps, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, just let's just take it to the 5th game.
Well,
Boy,
you gotta get us some entertainment somehow, right? And we can't just be let out like that,
well,
right?
I'll tell you, Connor, we certainly can because I've got a paper to write. I may
Well,
be
that sounds like a
old,
you
but
problem.
I do have a graduate education that I had to run from doing to be here. So I was really hoping that Sac State would have gotten their act together, but unfortunately, the C9 and then that it just I don't know. They're letting me down. I got stuff to do. I got a paper about Michael Foucault and embodiment theory and all sorts of stuff. So frankly, I want to embody myself right out of here. But here we are. We have one more match to go, and as Foucault would say, it's a system of power really that we have here of the watcher and the watchee, and the view of gaze and how that affects the body and the system of powers. Frankly, it's something really interesting. Now, they are also doing a bio break, which also goes into Foucault, in the understanding of power and body politics. Connor, what's so great about Foucault is so I'm going to explain to you guys about the social model of disability. Disability. I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
It's a picture.
Anyway, boy, we're on Oasis. Oasis. Now, no, that was wait.
Are you
Oasis.
okay?
Oasis.
Yes. Are you okay? How
You
many
know what
fingers are they
happens
holding
on
up?
Oasis?
Oh, yes. I very much know.
If there is if there is a map for Sac State to disappoint me, it is Oasis.
I mean, the past couple Oasis games have been pretty much stomps.
But the fact that 2 games they disappointed me and it was the same person that disappointed me in the same way.
We're probably gonna see them on Farah, so just take a breather and just
But
relax.
the thing is, rule of threes in comedy would
Oh.
require
Oh
it's
no.
it was
I
kind of funny the first time. It was incredible the second time, but it'll be hilarious the third.
That it would. That it very much would.
That it would. Let's see Uno fall off the map. Let's see it just once. Just once, and then they can win. And that's it, and that will be fine. But I just want to see Uno trip and fall at the very beginning, the first fight, and then they can stomp every other time. But frankly, I feel like we already had an incredible C9. We had some incredible ult cancels. It wouldn't be a true best of 5 nail biter if Uno didn't fall off the map.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. But the problem is, the only map where you can fall off the map is the first one. Well, actually, no, the second one too, but the one with the cars. That's really the best one where you can kind of fall off the map. The garden, you can kind of fall off the map, but the third map,
Or he could get run over by a car. That would be funny.
Vehicular homicide, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
great.
only homicide. It would be manslaughter, realistically. Okay, let's not give him that much credit.
It's only homicide the first time.
It's only homicide if they prove it.
It's a joke, Corona. Take a breather. It's a joke. It wasn't very funny, but it was a joke. It was an attempt.
I'll tell you what will be funny when Uno falls off the map. All right, we've got Tundra swapped out for this one, and it's back to I'm Press. What do you think?
Ball. Wrecking Ball. That's what we're probably going to see. It's going to be Wrecking Ball. Do you think they get it?
I think so.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? I as you can tell, I don't like Wrecking Ball. I don't. He's one of my least favorite characters.
First of all, how dare you? He's a cute little rodent.
He is a monster, and he should be euthanized. That is my opinion.
Now, I know I just said that it's only homicide if they can prove it, but I would argue that that was probably the worst thing anybody has said on this stream. And I've said a lot of bad things, but that might be it. It looks like we're going to start. The bio break is over, and or it's not. I don't know. Well, who knows? I mean, listen. I fully intended for us to end on that push map. I already was writing my next paragraph. So okay, now we're ready.
Finally.
Jesus.
Let's get into this.
Overwatch heaven. Let's do it.
Welcome to
Oasis.
It's gonna be Oasis.
Initiating match.
All right, and Zora, unfortunately for Hookbait, Canner's not in. So Zora is gonna have to close this out. I know Hookbait is the one that says that Connor is the clutch god. Connor is what does it, but not today. Zora is our clutch god today, and Zora is forcing the Orisa.
Ooh, Orisa against Reinhardt. Okay, so we aren't seeing the Wrecking Ball. I am kind of surprised. Wrecking Ball is pretty decent on this map, especially with all the grapple spots. But we're seeing it's just going to be a battle of Brawl here. Again, Flaming Sushi on the Tracer. I do not think that is the right call. Honestly, I just don't think that's the right call for this.
No, it's not. That's it. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens. Saxstate gonna go around the left side. While actually both teams are kind of going on the left side. Zora and May are kind of alone. They're gonna regroup, but actually Ottawa's doing a great job at actually taking the fight to Saxstate. The wall comes out. It kind of separates them a bit. And they get really low. Immortality has to be used. And Ottawa is getting very low. Both immortalities,
in the
but
back
Dusty
line
goes
here.
down actually.
Prez
Owen
goes-
gets him. I'm Prez, and it is back and forth. Zora goes down, but so does the Lucio. It's May v May, and it's kind of chaos down here, Tom. Stick goes out, misses, but gets
Bap dies.
Baptiste. It is a
And-
back and forth fight between the two teams. The tanks
Right.
are back. Uno needs to get healed up by Dusty. And nobody has taken this point yet.
It's a
Reinhardt
nice
gets
boot from
booped
Dusty.
in, but Uno goes down. Everybody is very low. Lucio goes down. Tracer is looking for it. Ryan misses the
Charging in-
ping, but
Charging into the wall.
Dusty
Dusty
gets kicked.
finally down, but ONG is now back as well, so Sac State can kind of try and regroup here. That was
Yeah,
a very
Sexy
good...
has to give this up.
Yeah, they gotta regroup.
Yeah, but look at all of those ults. The difference is, what is, who's gonna press it first? Blizzard goes
Blizzard
out.
is used.
Ooh,
That was a decent immortality, but the problem
Owen
is that the
gets
Raptor
hit.
you just get pinned and that's it.
yeah, and Uno is very low here.
I'm
Desperately.
Uno-
Yeah.
He used the Blizzard before he died, though. That was a very good use of the Blizzard there.
That's true. May almost goes down, and now it's just the supports alone. Flaming Sushi is actually doing some work, but they're doing a great job at selling the point as well. A lot of ults were used on the side of Sac State, and Ottawa still has plenty to go. They just used the Blizzard.
Both support ults are online, though, so they can be very flexible. But the thing is, both teams can be incredibly flexible. It's just up to whether or not Ottawa can get value from the ults that they have.
Wall
The
goes down
immortality-
and is shredding the Reinhardt. You could see that Owen was
Reaper
waiting
is in the
for the
back line
wall.
here.
Yeah, they can see him though. They know he's there.
Trying to
Owen's,
fish for a nice Death Blossom here.
Yeah, Owen is going to get rid of him.
It's a air shatter. Doesn't get anybody though. The amplification. That could have been a very big bomb if not for that immortality field.
Yeah, Reaper gets very low, and that's a big pin, but
Price goes down.
they stop it before it hits, and Sac State is gonna stabilize on the point. It's 50-40, and both teams used a lot of ults. Sac State should know that Reaper has that Death Blossom. That Reaper has had the Death Blossom for a while, but they switch over from the BAP to a Kiriko and the Junker Queen. I think that's actually a really bad call.
I agree. I mean, Zora was showing how powerful the Orisa is against Junker Queen on Li Zhang. So that Death Blossom was... Ooh, the Mei wall! Oh, their
own Mei wall. Something about that, the communication was not there, and that's double blizzards, but nobody's going to be there to capitalize on that Mei blizzard, and now we're on last fight. It's a single Junker Queen hiding. Do they know she's there? Probably not, but they do now. Owen's going to say, get back, she's right here. And now Tracer is alone, but gets yo boy Chris. And Owen picks up Lemore. This is going to be Sac State taking it first. There's no answer from Ottawa Gray
There just isn't.
for all of this. And Sac State takes the first map of Oasis.
With a team kill. That was... Wow. It started off really bad, but Sac State managed to turn it around.
1-0.
Yeah, I mean, the Tracer definitely, while it didn't do too much overtly, I think it did enough with really pressuring the Baptiste off of Baptiste. You saw a shield. I'm assuming that's how you say it in France. A shield switch off of the Baptiste to the Kiriko, and I think that had a lot to do with Flaming Sushi on the I was going to say the Turkey for some reason, the Tracer. But V Striker is going to switch to a Pharah. They're going to do Pharmacy.
Pharmacy and Winston.
And they're gonna, okay, we're gonna do it. We're matching pharmacies. Okay, this is great. But the problem is, Yo Chrissy Boy is on the Cassidy.
That is right. Ooh, already landing an air shot. Nice job for Flaming Sushi there. They've just got to
Yeah.
try to land these hits on the opposing flyers.
Flaming Sushi really looking for that mercy.
We're looking for the Cassie.
Oh,
That's a nice headshot
headshot.
there from your Chrissy boy. Uno making it a trade with
Dusty goes
HU.
down.
Dusty does go down. Your Chrissy boy as well. Uno is really picking up the slack here. Immortality is used.
Yeah, Sac State is really low. They're probably going to back up here, but actually Imprez goes
They're
down.
hard focusing. It's
Ooh,
just
and the Mercy
left.
doesn't actually stop it. The Mercy's too high. I think the Mercy thought that she was staggering it, but
Flaming
not
Sushi
quite.
did manage to cash out V-Striker there as he was trying to come assist the Mercy.
Aerial positioning underway.
This is just pure Pharah diff at this point.
yeah, I mean, Flaming Sushi is staying far even though Yo Chrissy Boy is there on the Cassidy. Gonna keep the ego, I think. They're just assuming, but Uno gets booped off the map. That's a big boop, but Imprez falls off.
He does.
Wasn't Uno, it was actually
It's
Imprez.
So it's just Zora on the point here. He's not going to survive very long. And they're going to get it. But they are at 38% here.
Yeah,
So,
that's not too much,
it's
but
not
I'm
too
hoping that
much.
Sac State Uno switches to
Reaper,
switches to Reaper. I don't know that the monkey was that big of a problem. I would argue that the Cassidy was more of a problem for Flaming Sushi to be able to get those picks.
But if you can pressure the monkey, it diverts focus away from the Cassidy and other targets, especially from the Kiriko. Because Kiriko... Ooh. There we go. That's already Flaming Sushi down. Dusty is forced to... Ooh. Barrage! Oh, got ONG in that engagement there. Uno and Dusty are still alive. Dusty goes down, unfortunately, there to your Chrissy. That was a nice javelin.
It's not gonna matter though.
It is not, no.
That's another fight won by Ottawa Gray.
I will not waste this opportunity.
It's not looking so good, especially with how potent Yo Chrissy has been on the Cassidy. He can easily just pop a high noon and just pick Flaming Sushi off in a team fight whenever. They have to try and get that Cassidy first. That's exactly what Zora seems to be doing.
Yeah,
Chrissy
they
boy.
go for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what you gotta do. Because now Flaming Sushi can just go unattested. That's a good Death Blossom there. It gets both the supports of Ottawa.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Sac State using 2 ults to capture that point, and Ottawa using 1. So the ults are kind of looking the same here, but Sac State's gonna have to hold it for a couple more team fights. Remember, they could guarantee their spot in Nationals if they win this.
Ooh, yo boy, your Chrissy boy. Ooh. Kitsune Rush does come out. They have to be careful here. Zora has...
Yeah.
Surge comes out to try and keep Zora alive here. ONG is getting focused by the Winston Primal. The rest of Sac State's got to try and help him out. ONG did go down to the Primal, so it's just pretty much Dusty here to try to act as
Mercy has
support.
res though.
Oh, that was some nice air shots there. Barrage is online. I'm surprised. That makes Sushi still hasn't tried to use it yet. Res gets used. They did block the res. Barrage is used.
In Sac State.
That's
They
gonna
still
be it.
have a no. It's not gonna. Oh, they could have touched there. They really could have. But
That's it.
yeah, wow. Sac State has just in a nail biter of a best of 5 has just guaranteed their spot in Nationals. Ottawa Gray put up a really big fight there. It was very close, especially with yo boy Chris sort of stopping Flaming Sushi on that Farah a lot. But really good game there from both. And that's it. Sac State are decided. They've passed their group stage and they're going to Nationals. Actual Nationals.
Yeah,
Like the actual bracket of Nationals.
they are.
Which is wild.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point.
I
What a long fought journey that we went on with that that best of 5.
yeah, it really was a journey. It really was.
Why did
I
you
don't know.
say it like that?
I don't know. I thought I was gonna be clever. Okay, I thought I was gonna be clever. It sounded better in my head than it did out loud. Don't question it. Don't question it. We're just gonna move on. Anyway, about the match. I am very optimistic going into nationals here. Sac State didn't put up that much of a good fight against what was it? Louisville, right? That was it Louisville who
Yeah,
they lost to?
that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah. They did not put up a good fight against them, but hopefully now with this under their belt, especially with the pressure off there in the nationals bracket, hopefully they can perform at a much higher level here. Hopefully they won't have more best of 5s where they go to the 5th map.
Well, I mean, the thing to keep in mind as well, though, is that the Louisville match really was not Sac State playing. I mean, all of what Sac State is used to playing had to be switched because it was a match that was not on the regular Thursday, and Sac State had to adapt. 2 of the players were missing. Tanner had to go in on maps that he doesn't normally do, and it's one of those things where Sac State just has to, uh, as long as everybody shows up, they've won. It's that
Uh,
simple.
yeah. And we do actually have a special guest here today, Coach Dosp, who the head coach of Sac State Gold. Can I Hey Dosp, welcome to the casting booth.
Hello, one second. I'm trying to turn on my camera, but my PC cannot handle it, apparently.
Uh,
Just-
uh,
but yeah, hi. We made it to, I don't know, the end of
Nationals.
nationals, out of the group stage.
You're
Yeah.
in the
There we go, there I am.
bracket.
Yeah.
You
There we
guys
go.
have officially punched your ticket to the bracket of nationals. All of the best teams have made it, and now you guys are there. What do you think is ahead for that bracket stage?
I have no idea. I haven't looked yet, but we're gonna be going against all the best teams in our division, you know?
How many people are
But
in the bracket? How many people are in the bracket?
8.
8. Okay, 8 teams are in
Mhm.
the bracket. Okay.
Yeah. I
So
believe
worst case,
it'll be a single elimination, maybe?
so we've made it
Probably.
8th place,
Guaranteed.
guaranteed 8th
Yeah,
in the
guaranteed
nation.
at the least in the nation. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are
That's
the 8th best Overwatch team. There are more than 8 Overwatch League teams, which means we are better than some of them, officially.
I don't think that's how the math works.
We're gonna run
No?
with that. Can we
Yeah.
can I get a comment real quick? What happened with those past two with Parisi with Coliseo and what's it?
Parisa.
Pariso. Yeah, what happened?
Well, we won Paraíso.
No, I was talking
Yeah,
about like
but
the
But-
C9.
go on.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
that.
we were doing too good. We didn't notice the number at the top of the screen. It's like real small, and we thought it would be more interesting if we played for a draw. You know, I was really hoping we could get our first ever draw game today, but you know, we were like too good. No, we just didn't notice legit that we were pushed up attacking their backline. Meanwhile, there was a Reaper on the cart, not attacking anyone's backline, you know?
Yeah.
It's easy to
Attacking
lose
the
track.
objective. indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that does
One might
happen,
say the objective of Overwatch would be
Mhm.
what's called the objective,
but
which
You could call
I
it
want
that.
to ask
Good.
you about Paris, about Coliseo specifically. What happened there? It seemed like there was a lot of promise, especially with the early team fights. What happened? Did Dusty have connection issues?
Dusty did have connection issues, but that was only between fights, according to him. So I don't think that really played into it. Honestly, I'm not sure. There were a lot of close fights. There were a lot of early picks. I know we were having some difficulties with the tracer. We swapped off that to Cass. That might have been a bit too late. Uh,
Yeah, why the
I don't know.
continuation after that? After it was clear that Flaming Sushi was popping off on the cast, why
Mhm.
then keep him on the tracer?
Did we?
Yeah, in the next matches, yeah.
I don't even remember. What? I
On
know he was on
Oasis, he was
Pharah.
tracer the whole time, except
He was
for the
Pharah
last
most of
part.
it.
No, he was Farah
What?
like the last
Oh,
map.
okay. Just the last map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He did fine. He did good. You know, it's this is the kind of stuff that I'll see in the VOD review. It's hard to keep track of
Yeah.
all of it, but he did good on it. We knew they were gonna do Ryan last map just because they swapped in their player that only plays like Winston or Ryan, and it's not really a Winston map. And the tracer was able to just kind of freely go into their backline that time around.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, we just do better on control in general. It's more of a map difference. They did a really good job. I feel like we were scouted this time around because they definitely banned some maps that we don't want banned and picked some maps that we absolutely never want to be picked.
Like Gibraltar.
I'm not going to name any maps in case someone from next month is watching. But yeah, like Gibraltar.
So how are you going to deal with the scouters? And more specifically, DOS, tell them tell the scouters why they shouldn't pick Gibraltar.
Well, the reason you don't pick the more maps we lose, the more hyped we are. So if you pick the maps we're bad at, you have to div us at our own game. That is your only chance of ruining our mental. If you pick a dive map and we do bad on dive, that's not
Okay.
our fault. What are we gonna do about it? Next map we come back, we get the map pick next.
That
So
is, I will say, DOS,
Mhm.
we did. You will be pleased to know,
Yeah.
Connor didn't believe me, but the moment Gibraltar was picked, I already sang a funeral song. Okay. And all I kept saying was, as long as they just turn around and look at the sky and don't
Mhm.
actually try at Gibraltar, they'll be fine for the next one.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Connor said, no, no,
absolutely.
no, there's still time. They could do it. And I was like, nah, they gotta not put any energy. They've gotta not care at all. They should just group up, emote, and stare at the side.
Hey,
Why didn't they emote, Dasp? Tell me. That's the hard hitting.
Why no death call?
I do think that's a good strategy, but also if we don't make it convincing, we might get reported for toxicity or something. There's always that concern. It's But you're right. Maybe we should work more on the emote game. Like the
Yeah.
micro on that is there's a lot to go into, like what emotes synergize together,
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Whether or not
Yeah,
you do
maybe you guys
looping
should focus
emotes.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to get something going where we get sprays that all go together and make some sort of like 5 spray beast,
As what? You guys go to their spawn, spray
Or
that
like
at the doors, and then run away, and
or like put it on the payload or
they have
somewhere
to
where they'll
stop
definitely
and
see
look
it.
at it. No, think
Yeah,
about it. You
yeah.
do it on the spawn doors, right? Then they're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, what
You do
is
it on
that?"
the floor right outside of spawn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
then they leave spawn, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Wait a second, what is that?" And then you've just gained like 10 seconds.
You're
That's
right.
actually a really groundbreaking
Big.
strat there.
That is some high IQ plays right there. This is
Mhm.
the peak of Overwatch.
Well, see, but if we do the same thing and we put it where the fight is going to take place, where they're definitely going to see, they're going to stop in the middle of the fight. They're going to hesitate.
Surely they will stop in the
Surely.
middle of the fight. Of course.
Absolutely. You see
Yeah.
a big creature like, I don't know, someone's character with like a halo above them, a background behind them. They have like 6 arms for some reason because someone else's spray. There's no way you're
Random
going to look past that.
with a wanted
Like,
poster.
people are going to turn off their brain. They're going to autopilot. They're going to keep shooting. They'll look like they're still playing, but they're not going to be thinking about what cooldowns we have, what ult we just used, because they're thinking about how did this team come together so well to put together this magnificent spray. Like, it's
this is the type of community that Sac State Esports brings. Instead of getting good at the game, why not get good at art that you can make
Well,
in the game?
we've already gotten good enough at the game. You know,
Well, do you? Are you sure?
You sure
what's our
about
win
that?
rate right now? 12-2. What is that?
But what is the win rate in my heart?
I don't know. Probably higher because you weren't with us for that first loss.
Oh.
But I've been with you when there's places there you have no business winning, and somehow you do, but you have no business doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that Paraiso, you guys deserve to lose.
How dare you?
Uh,
You thought it too. I saw that
I
chat mem.
mean, I mean, I can't argue with that. One thing I can say though is, given how given how strong Flaming Sushi has been on the Pharah, do you think we're gonna probably see more Pharah play from Flaming Sushi, or was there just too much there's too much hit scan pressure, at least these higher
We've
levels?
been seeing a ton of it. And the fire is great. The only issue with it is that it doesn't really work well without the Mercy. And then if we have a Mercy, we can't have Lucio for our Brawl Core, which is a major trade-off. Uh, and like, Sushi could absolutely pop off, but if our core of 3 is just free for people to run onto, then doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. One
Yeah.
more thing, Doss, from me. Uh, what would you say to a future competitor that is watching the streams and things like that, and is noticing that that dive is incredibly strong against you? What would you say?
I mean, I already said it, like, just don't do it because then we win the mental. You got to play the mental economy, you know? Ult economy is so micro, like you're just looking fight to fight. The mental economy, if you go over all the maps, the only way we lose that is if you beat us in Brawl. If you beat us in Dive, we choose the next map.
Okay.
GG's. And then you
Oh,
won't be
I
able to dive
understand.
on that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
And
the real winning move is not to play.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you are saying that there's no universe where Sac State loses.
No. It's last game was non-canon. I don't know if you guys heard that.
It was a filler arc.
Yeah.
If Connor wasn't there, it didn't happen. This is true. I mean, I'm not even real. So if you watched a game that I was casting, it's just not real.
Uh-huh.
So that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I
Doss,
think there was a caster diff last time. I think that's why I take that back. Continue. Next question.
who
All
would you
right.
say your MVP is?
Um, Owen.
Owen?
Owen holds it down.
He does, especially on that
Yeah.
Baptiste.
Yeah. It's my favorite is when people try to dive him and then they die.
Yeah, there was a lot of diving Owen. Ottawa's I do think that that Ottawa definitely was scouting you guys, because from the beginning, Owen was the one they were diving, not Dusty. Even when Dusty was on Zen, they were
Mhm.
diving Owen instead. Which kind of tells you a lot about I feel like they were giving Owen a lot of respect there. From the get-go, and not even they were trying to not even give Owen a chance to
Mhm.
show off his skills, and I think he did
played
all
the
right
mental
against
game.
the dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Our game plan was to use Dusty as the bait, make the Zen look nice and juicy so that Owen can carry and just keep them up and shoot them in the backs. But they didn't go for it. They just went for Owen directly, which is, I mean, that's even worse. But you know,
Yeah, so was Dusty aware of this plan to use
oh
him as
yeah,
bait?
yeah.
Was he fully is on board with that?
No, but he went for it, and that's
Dusty in the
it was
chat
a play.
asking for his shout out, and his shout out is going to be we use him as bait to let the better support do work. That's a really good shout out, Coach
Yeah.
Dosp, and I'm really
Well,
glad that you lead
okay.
the
To be fair,
players with
no.
such a
Dusty
Yeah,
also
positive
helps.
way.
Is there any other shout outs you want to make, Dos? Like how how Uno is just worse than Flaming Sushi at certain DPS
Yeah,
or
what's
something like that?
No, honestly, they trade off. You know, I can't choose between those two.
but you can choose between the supports for sure.
What about the tanks then? What about Canner and Zora?
We've got a specialized thing going on. Canner's better. But
Are you sure though? Because
yeah.
we saw Zora on the Sigma, and we
Mm-hmm.
saw Canner on was it
Winston.
Junker Queen or well
Winston.
Winston? But we saw him on another thing that I swear we
He
saw
did
him on
Reaper. I think he did Reaper for a bit and then
What?
swapped Junker Queen. I mean, not Reaper. The hammer guy, Reinhardt.
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. That's right.
Sorry, I don't. What is Overwatch again?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. With that,
Is there anything else you
yeah.
wanted to shout out, Dos? Anybody else?
No, I don't think so. You know, I mean, Team did great. They know who they are. Follow them on everything. I don't know if they have socials. They've all been shouted out before. I appreciate them all. They did great.
All right, let's put
Yeah.
this travesty down like a dead horse.
I'm sorry.
So, thank you very much, Dos.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on going. We'll see you guys at Nationals.
Yeah, should be. We have like a good month, but we'll see you guys.
Yeah, that's. Are you guys?
Well, this
gonna
was
be...
nationals.
Well,
Oh,
this
no,
is
part of it.
the
Nationals
true
bracket.
national.
Yeah, yeah, the
National,
national.
Is this still going to be online or is it going to be LAN?
It's online. It's all online.
Oh, that's depressing.
It's been LAN some years, but for
Money and
unknown
COVID.
reasons, it's all
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess.
So, are
Mhm.
you guys going to continue to practice throughout this sort of off season, or
Yeah, of
what's the
course.
plans?
We're gonna be practicing every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are really the moment finals is over. You guys are just going
yeah,
for it,
'cause-
huh?
Yeah. Well, now that people don't have to stay on campus, like in dorms or around campus, we can all go to the Overwatch gamer retreat, where we'll be for the next 3 weeks.
You'll just go to Blizzard.
No. We have our own. We have our own retreat. It's
You have the gamer house.
yeah. It's near Blizzard.
Is that
HQ.
my house?
It's
Is this a new?
It's actually in Corinna's house. She has a big shout out back
It's
that
the
she's
basement.
allowed us to stay in for the next 3 weeks.
I mean, I'll allow it.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine.
we'll be just gaming nonstop.
You guys
in the
can
heat.
fit 5 computers in this room. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, are you in the shed right now?
No.
Oh.
I was gonna be
Okay.
nice and give you the AC. Anyway, point is, well, that's great, and I can't wait to see you guys when you have this Overwatch retreat and you get a chance to look Dusty in the eye before you say die so Owen can succeed.
No. His job is not to die.
Long live the king moment.
It is to look juicy, and then he shoots them back too. He's as the Zen. He hurts them too.
He
It's
hurts
just
them, but
Yeah, he hurts them a lot.
With
But Owen's the one keeping him alive. He won't die because of Owen.
we've seen Dusty die quite a bit.
No, Dusty has actually never died.
Dusty
That's,
has died first
Production, can we bring up
multiple
the
times just
stats?
in we don't have
know
that capability.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Great, Das. Well, thank you so much, and we hopefully you guys will figure out your inner concerns that clearly have been brought up now by your players, who I'm sure there might be some mutiny, and that's
Okay.
just for you to deal with, and I think that's a great internal struggle for you, and from all of us at Sac State Esports Club, congrats, because you guys have now officially forged Overwatch as one of the many teams that have made it to NEC's Nationals. And we expect you guys to take it all the way, truly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we
Yeah.
will.
I think we will, yeah.
We got it, He's
All right. Quit your teasing, guys. Thank you, DOS. You can head back to your players now. We
All right.
appreciate all the words of excellent encouragement.
All the words of words, you know.
Yeah, all the excellent words of encouragement. Thank you, DOS.
All right. See ya.
Be gone.
Bye.
Anyway, like I said, that now brings Sac State Esports Club with every single game that we run, Super Smash, League of Legends, Overwatch,
Valorant,
Rocket League, all of them, every single game that Sac State has entered has made it to their champions or to their actual championship stage and either won or gotten like second. So Overwatch is now going to join that ranks and hopefully make it a pattern of ones for Sac State and making an incredible NECC season. For a second there, it was looking a little concerning that we would be saying goodbye for good for this season, but that is not gonna happen. We're gonna be back in, like he said, a month. We're gonna keep casting, and I think it will be a great new adventure for us.
I'm very excited to see what the bracket stage is going to look like, especially given the fact that these same teams that are like us have been through the fire and flames just as much as we have. So I'm very excited to see what some of these higher ranked teams are going to bust out, especially to try and counter Sac State's apparent weaknesses according to DUSP. Either way, I am incredibly excited to not just cast, but also to watch what's going on with these teams here in the groups in the bracket stage.
That's right. Well, until then, I hope everybody has a great, finish of finals for everybody. And we will see you all in about a month for the national single elimination bracket for Overwatch.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a month's time. Have a good day. Have a good night, guys, everybody.
It's non-canon when you die.
Exactly.
Non-canon. It's a filler arc.
You're like a boss battle.
Is Shadow RL supposed to be Rocket League?
Rush.
Just got you, Resident.
Can you kill Mercy?
Mercy.
Go right, that's it. Monkey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Monkey.
Wow.
Top, up. Main, 2 main.
I just boop him.
Nice.
Keep moving on, bitch. It's not over. Season's not over. Oh my god. Okay. Res.
Bro.
Rusty,
not
yeah.
the- I almost had straight A's.
Yeah?
I almost had straight A's this semester. I'm